Hello, this is Keith with the Georgetown County School District, and today I'm going to show you how to create a blogging site for your students using Weebly. And so what you first do is go to Weebly.com and you will create your own account, and then it's going to ask you in that place if you want to add a site, and your site will be empty. I have one, so I have a free account and I'm using this, so I'm going to click add a site. And then I'm going to choose a theme. And in this case, I'm going to go over and choose blog. So I'm going to click there, and it's going to give me several different themes that I could choose from. And it doesn't really matter which one you choose to do. So just for the sake of using it, I will just choose this one right here. And I'm going to say choose. And it will then load up that particular theme, and here in the background you'll see. And then over here it's going to ask you, do you want to use a subdomain of Weebly, and or do you want to register a new domain? Well, if you do this one here, it'll be www whatever you name it.com, but get your credit card out because it's going to ask you to pay for it. We use this one up here, so I'm going to call this one my sample blog, and there's no spaces in there. My sample blog, and then it'll tell you, oh, that one's taken, so I'm going to say my sample blog GCSD. That happens to be available, and I will say continue here. Alright, now I can actually leave this picture as I want. I can then come over here and I want to change this to my sample blog, and if you wanted to put that in here, you could do that. You could change, edit the background, replace the header option or whatever. But if I wanted to put in a title here, I can just drag it in, and then I can just click and say put it in my sample blog for, let's just say ELA 1. And I could leave it like that. Now I've got my title in. I don't have to worry about doing anything like this. I can do an overview of myself if I want to. I don't have any blog posts. So right down here at the bottom, let me see if I can move this down a little bit. Right down here at the bottom it says new post. So I'm going to click, and then I'm going to do a post title. Tell me a little about yourself as a student. How do you best learn? Once I get all my errors corrected. As a student, how do you best learn? Then I could drag some elements in here. I could put in text into here if I wanted to. I don't necessarily think I need to, but if I wanted to, I could put it in and drag the element underneath there as text. And then what I would then do would be to come in here and edit and say, talk to me about your learning style. And you might want to put visual, auditory, tactile, etc. Just as an example. Alright, so there's that. And you don't have to put that, but we did. And so when I'm ready to go, then I'm going to go up to the top up here, and I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to publish it. And it's published. I'll continue here, and then this will give me my post. So when you copy this, this will be what you would send to your students. So I'm going to just click here because it's going to then take me to that page. I could actually click over here and highlight that if I wanted to, or I could just click here and go up to where it is. And so it's going to say my sample blog gcsd.weebly.com is going to be my And then when I come in, I'm going to see it as whatever I have put on here. That's just sort of giving me a sample blog. Well, now the step that we missed, we want to make sure we're doing, is once you have your information up here, and I did not do that, you don't have any blogs, I'm going to do new post again, and I'm going to go back in here and do this part over. So I'm going to pause this until I get it typed in, not to waste your time. Okay, so I've got my title typed back in here. This time I chose not to actually put a comment underneath, and that's okay. And then I'm going to go up to the top here, and I'm going to click Post. Once I click Post, here is the address for that particular post that will be here. And when I click this, it takes me to what the site will look like for the student. And so when the student comes in, you have all these settings in here. So the student has to put their name, student has to put their email, or you can tell them to make sure they put their email. They won't have a website, and then when they're ready, they can comment. Visual and tactile is best for me. Logged in as GCSD Tech Coach because that's where I'm logged in as the Google and my Google email. So this is best worked out if they are logged into Google, so that it automatically will keep them here. And I'm going to submit. It's submitting. All right. So if I go back up to see where mine is now, so I'll see my comment. And actually have somebody can reply to my comment. All right, I'm going to go back, and I can publish here if I want. That puts it out there on the web for everybody to be able to see it. And then, pause. Okay, and now the last little piece of this is for you to be able to do, go up here and fix your settings. So while you're in the edit mode, click on settings. And this tells you your title. You can always change that. Site password, if you want to protect your site and not have everybody in the world be able to get into it, you just give this to your class. You can set that right here. You can always change it anytime you want to, but it'll apply to all the pages you have in this Weebly. So the next thing, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click on the blog. And post per page, you know, I usually use 10, but you can use more or less if you want. Post share buttons, yes. Post a sidebar, you can leave that, that's okay. You don't need this or this. Comments now, commenting system is by default. Comment is open, and you can auto close the comments after 30 days, 60 days, or never. You'll be able to have them. Spam protector, smart captcha. I usually never show the captcha, otherwise they have to go in and it takes them a lot more time to put it in. They'll have to choose a picture with all the sidewalks or all the street lights or all the storefronts or things like that, and it's just never, it gets old for them real quick. Smart moderation, that means that if you smart moderate, then you'll have to approve the post. If you say never moderate, then you will not have to. It will just go up a caution here. Everybody will be able to see it. If you want to be notified every time in your Google or in your Weebly, it will email you every time that it is somebody posts on it. I would say keep that at no, unless you want to look at a lot of emails. And then you click save down here at the bottom. It updates automatically. You can now do publish again, and your site is ready to go. You click here, and this is the site that you would share with your young people if you wanted them to be able to get to this blog. All right. Hope everything goes well for you. Take care.